Let's talk some politics right now. There was a Gallup poll this week polling Republicans about the leadership of the Republican Party and asking who speaks for the Republican Party. And none of the above got more votes than anyone else. But Rush Limbaugh, 10%. Newt Gingrich, 10%. Dick Cheney, 9%. Is it healthy that these three are seen as, by Republicans, the top spokespeople for the Republican Party today?
Well, I think it's very helpful to have a lot of voices, as we do. As you know, when you have the White House, you've got one single voice that speaks for your party. When you don't have the White House, you got a lot of people coming forward that speak and express their views. We have a lot of people with views that are very consistent on a number of issues. It's a good thing. You're seeing great senators come forward, congressmen, governors, some new faces. I was just with Chris Christie in New Jersey, running for governor there, Bob McDonnell in Virginia. I think you're going to see some more voices come forward, and that gives our party the kind of energy and passion that I think we're going to need to pick up some seats in the 2010 elections.
But you're also facing a demographic problem. Mike Murphy, the Republican strategist, points this out in Time magazine this week. He says the Republicans are facing an ice age, and what he points to is the fact that in the last election, if you look at polling today, the Republican Party is losing young people. It is losing Latinos. It is losing well-educated Americans, and that this really is a time that if the Republican Party doesn't reform, Mike Murphy says it will die. How specifically should the Republican Party expand its outreach right now, become a more inclusive party for those voter groups it is now losing?
Well, what you don't do is try and change your principles. But what you do is make sure that you're communicating your principles in an effective way to the audiences of America that are listening. Hispanic Americans ought to be voting Republican. We're the party of opportunity. We're the party of keeping taxes down. We're the party that wants people to have choice in their schools and choice in their health care.
But as you know, Governor, over the last couple of years, let me just interrupt right there on Hispanic Americans. A lot of Hispanics saw the Republican Party as the party trying to keep Hispanics out of the country. Whether it was fair or not, that was the impression. How do you counter that?
Yeah, you got to make sure that you fight very hard to get your message through. And you're right, George. In many cases, the people on the opposition said that Republicans were anti-immigrant, which nothing could be further from the truth. Republicans celebrate immigrants coming legally into this country, even becoming citizens. I was at a big rally in Iowa. Someone stood up there and said, I just got sworn in as a U.S. citizen. The crowd stood up and cheered. We're a party that loves legal immigration. But like most Americans, we're not wild about illegal immigration. We want to cut back on illegal immigration so we can keep legal immigration thriving and robust. So those are messages we have to make sure that we communicate effectively and recognize our opposition. We'll try and muddy the waters and make us look like we're something we're not, but we need to do a better job. And that's one of the advantages of having so many voices out there right now. We can find people who can get that message across.
And how